So this is kind of a weird situation. I'm doing a limited scope roof inspection, and the client says that he paid for 450 concrete tiles to be replaced on the roof. These look painted. You see all that? So the paint for the flashing matches the paint on the roofing tiles. Same color. And these concrete tiles match these concrete tiles. Those concrete tiles have been painted as well. Same with all of them down here in this valley. And those are just the old tiles that have been painted. But not on this side. You can tell that none of these have been painted over on this side. Well, they definitely put some new tiles here on the back, some red tiles, and then they painted over them to try and match, but only some of them were red to begin with. You can see the red, and then the gray paint that they used to try and blend it. Why wouldn't you just finish painting them at this point? I mean, you can tell that the guy was up here painting these concrete tiles because the brush strokes went over onto this. Why wouldn't you just finish it? Then we got our synthetic underlayment that we're looking at right here, and our cricket on the back side of the chimney, making sure everything gets diverted. Chimney cap looks alright, a little bit of bird droppings up there. That's about it. And you got a lot of these cracks. It's pretty typical for concrete tiles to crack out here on the corner right. You've got, I'm gonna guess, 20 to 30 tiles up here like that, maybe around that. It's not the end of the world because everything that is protecting underneath is still covered. Once we get cracks that go up past this little 3-inch section, that's when we need to start worrying about it. So whatever your contract says for replacing the concrete tiles, you might want to hold them up to it, but we've got roughly 30 or 40 tiles that have cracked corners on them, just like this. Which, like I said, it's not the end of the world. You can see where these tiles have been pulled off somewhere else and inserted here. So you get all of this wear marks visible on the back side of the house. So yeah, I want to point out that this is on the east side of the front of the house. These were all painted in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, and 8. So that's roughly 45, 50 tiles. And same thing with over here on this side, probably looking at 50 to 60 tiles. Again, painted. I don't know if they were a different color to begin with, but they were sure painted gray up here on this corner. Some of them are red. You can see that's probably why they painted them on the front of the house, because they didn't want it to stick out. But some that they painted weren't even red. See, this one was red. See, that's why they're painting these. They didn't want it to stick out so bad. You put a whole bunch of red tiles on the front of the house, it's gonna stick out. But see, they got a mixture. This was gray tile, brown tile. The problem with painting them, as you can see, the paint isn't gonna last. This stuff is gonna start peeling off like it already has started to do. A crack this big is getting kind of close, right? We're almost at 3 inches. You can see where that other concrete tile ends, the next one begins. So we got to start worrying about any cracks bigger than about this size right here. We could tell that they painted them on site because this part is painted, all the new tiles, and then even the ridge cap's got some paint on it. So these wouldn't be painted off-site and then just so happen to land right next to this. These front areas over the front walkway are susceptible to damage, especially since we get a lot of bird debris built up in here and it'll wash through here. If these channels and this flashing isn't wide open and allow the debris from this area to drain, it's going to back up and back up, and then we're going to have ponding water up here or debris up here that is wet and causing damage. You can see the flashing on that side as well. Now, I had a leak in the front of my house just like this a few years ago, so I know that if you don't have an open flashing right here and things start building up, you're going to cause problems and you're getting leaks below this area. If you can see up there, we got a Dead Valley cap sheet, so that's mineral paper cap sheet wrapped around on top of this flashing, but it's actually obstructing some of that flashing back there. So we want to make sure water could get through there, but how can water make its way down the flashing if we've got all that tar, roofing tar, and the paper going over the top of the flashing, obstructing the flow of water in this area? That needs to be fixed. Just starting to look at the flat roof back here. Look at that big alligator gap. All that should be sealed down. None of this should be sticking up. This should be sealed down to prevent water from getting underneath of it. Got gaps on this side too. It's not adhering. You need to fix this stucco right here to prevent bugs, wasps, rainwater from going down into your column and attracting termites up. But I'm trying to focus on the roof right now. Over on the east side of this flat roof, I'm a little bit concerned about this. See, this caulking needs to fill in this gap to prevent water from going down there. You'll get maybe 3 years out of this caulking before it starts cracking and letting go and releasing, because this is facing south. So we need to keep an eye on this for future maintenance reasons, but we also need to make sure that all of that is sealed up, prevent moisture, pests, everything from running past this point and getting back into your home, causing damage down below into the wooden wall. Behind that stucco, we've got wooden framing members that could get damaged if any of the moisture in this area goes down there. And we have more alligatoring on this side. All right, Trevor, I'm looking around at your sheathing. Your sheathing looks pretty good. We've got a few nail penetrations through the sheathing, but that's okay. I don't see anything that's sticking out like way overdriven nails, but your AC system needs some attention. Just notice that this duct right here is just blowing air into your attic. So I can see the air coming out of it. I tried to seal it off a little bit, but it's not sealed. We're still getting air flowing through there. You can see the plastic vibrating. So you want to seal that off. You're probably losing some AC up here. Now this isn't part of the roof inspection, but I am looking at your structure and these beams up here. The bolts are very loose. You know, some of them are tight, most of them are loose, so I'm not even sure what these things are supposed to be holding. They're not solid. So I think you need to tighten these bolts up. I mean, that's the whole point of putting the nuts on the bolts, right? Make sure it's nice and solid. And you've got another duct down here that's been closed off and just kind of cinched. We're over on the other side of the attic from the attic hatch. You're gonna have to go past your HVAC system and look down, and then look off to the back and the left, way back in that corner. That's where that HVAC duct is loose. You can see they did a little bit of over nailing there. A little bit. I don't know where it goes. Got a little bit of mouse poop around it. So I'm guessing a mouse has been using this for travel to get into your attic. Because this goes up and out right outside your roof, so you want to either cap that off or find out where this thing goes. Where does this thing go? I mean, it's strapped on there, but what is... Oh, they plugged it with a piece of wood. Gotcha. Yep, I would just get rid of this thing entirely.